And welcome again now, dear friends, to the Tuesday edition of Fresh Bread. It's Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. Reverend Phil Anderson with you, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church and Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church. So glad you could join me today for our Tuesday edition of this 5-minute daily devotional. Hey, we're almost reaching the 3-year mark on this. I hope you're having a great week, by the way, as you're now into Tuesday. And I pray that you'll be able to join us for Ash Wednesday on Wednesday evening, 5 o'clock at Oakland, 6 o'clock at Kansas Avenue. You know, we're talking about the book of James. Really does need a lot of discussion. I just love it. We read the first 4 verses yesterday. It talks about counting it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Why are we supposed to rejoice? I look back at exactly what's being said. It doesn't mean we should rejoice when we're having the trials, but rejoice when you fall into various trials. And that doesn't mean we have to like the trials, but we rejoice and we count it all joy when we fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of our faith produces patience. And so we'll stop right there on that verse. We'll go on now to verse number 5. It says, and by the way, who doesn't need more patience, right? I could stand for a whole truckload more of patience. It says then in verse 5, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith with no doubting. For he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is double-minded and unstable in all his ways. You know, that's the thing here is to ask in faith. And I think this is really a good part of the foundation of the book of James. And I can't say I'm an expert on the book of James, but I can tell you that one of the key components, the building block for us here, is that we believe that Jesus is Christ, that he is the Messiah, that he is the Son of God, that he is God in the flesh, and that we then can come to him in confidence. Why would we doubt God? And that's really what James is saying. Why would we ask something of God and then doubt whether he hears it or whether he's going to do it? Now, God's ultimately going to make up his own mind about what he does and what he doesn't do. And if he doesn't give us what we want, then he had a good reason for it. May not understand it on this side of eternity, but eventually it'll make sense to us. But God still has a plan and a purpose for us. And sometimes we don't always know what that plan and purpose is. So what do? We trust in God. We begin our walk with the Lord, and we stay with him through thick and thin. We stay the course. We don't venture off when things get tough. We throw in the towel and say, well, there can't be a God because look what he did. He gave us this difficulty. Or how could there be a God when we see all these terrible things happening around us? No, there is a God. He's a personal God. He loves us. And he did do something about the evil and the pain that we see around the world. And even in maybe our own communities, maybe even in our own lives. And that is what he did was so spectacular that it's beyond belief. He came down to be one of us. And he gave his life for you and for me. He would have done it for just one of us because he loved us that much. Jesus Christ felt pain as much as you or I would feel pain if our hands and our feet were nailed to that cross. He felt every ounce of that pain, and maybe more so because he was one with whom there was no acquaintanceship of sin. Jesus was perfect, lived that sinless life. And now to be up there with all of these terrible things thrust upon him because he loved us. And then if you add onto that the fact that Jesus carried the weight of all the sins of the world, that he can then forgive us of our sins past, present, and future, that's quite a load to carry. And Jesus carried that load because he loved you and he loves me. So we ask him in faith. We believe that he is going to hear us. If we doubt him, it says we are like a double-minded man. We're unstable in all our ways. And that doesn't just say in some of our ways, it means in all of our ways. It'd be great if we could say, hey, we're stable. We believe in the Lord, and nothing will ever take that away from us. I pray that's your story, and that's my story as we go forward into this Lenten season starting tomorrow. Well, friends, thank you again for joining me today on Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. Have a great day. Again, Reverend Phil Anderson here speaking, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church in Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church right here in the capital city of Topeka, Kansas. Have a wonderful day. We'll be back tomorrow on February 22nd, Wednesday, for more fresh bread. Until then, God bless you. Have a great day.